Good evening, everyone. So, good evening, everyone. How on a day? I just want to do a quick one. I wanted to do a, a citizen parliament evening, but sadly, for the last 2 days, Nigerians has been on holiday. I know you are all now tired and will be about going to bed. So I just want to quickly do this madness trending, which is that we must consult the Fulanis, or rather, that the Southerners, Southern Nigeria, must consult the Fulanis if they want to have their meetings, And yesterday, my conversation with Antio Briggs, we somehow touched on it, but hey, this evening I'm going to actually be touching on it more. And because I found I found those commentaries, really absurd, that Nigeria must consult with the Fulanis, before they meet. Before you meet, before you do your normal meeting, you go tell your I honestly don't want to be, because it sounds a little bit ethnic, but it's I couldn't help it because that's what it is. Listening to, I hope you can hear me. Okay, word of Mazi, this is your in-law from Texas. Okay. So, yeah, in-law, you're welcome. So basically, when listening to this, sometimes it just makes you sick. And again, the person who said this is not an idiot. He's a professor by, I don't know, maybe some of you can argue that he is a quota system professor. That's neither here nor there. But the bottom line is, for many of you who haven't seen this, I know we just finished Dele Mamodu's live stream with Femi Falana. But obviously, in respect, and because I had already agreed with him that that's going to happen, so that's why I didn't come in earlier. I could have probably done around 6. But now, be that as it may, we are here now, okay? So, but I wouldn't make this long. I would just make it quick. For benefit of those of you who haven't heard this man spew the garbage that he did, let me bring it on so you can hear.
This is a problem of government, disconnected, out of touch with realities of people.
Now, this is the problem. So, because some of you might not even understand what he's saying. He said there's a government, so, you might not understand, but I interpret for you. It's sadly, we are interpreting English with English. Okay, so go ahead.
You must sit down and talk with people you are making laws for.
Of course, we are
none of that government.
No. Shut the crap. Sorry, Prof. Shut the crap. We are making laws for ourselves to protect our place, not for you. Okay? Get that in your skull.
Those governors have sat down with Fulani leaders in wherever they are. And
what in a freaking world are you talking about? How can you demand that we sit down with the Fulani leaders in order to make laws to govern our place? Are you normal? Are you normal?
Tell them what we are planning to do.
Ah, Jesus. Tell them what we are planning to do because of what? 19 governors made the Northern Governors Forum that includes the people of the Middle Belt. They meet and nothing happens. You do not take permission from us to meet. You meet on your own volition. You do whatever you do on your own volition. So why on earth would we tell you that we want to meet and therefore you should be invited? Okay? No, be your that's not your problem. Please. That's not your problem. So let's go ahead.
or what we're going to do, or what alternatives are there. And then they're sitting down there and making laws.
I mean, what are the states for? What are the regions for? The regions are there to make laws, to govern them. Who did you call Southerners who sell alcohol in Kano? Did you, when you made laws to destroy the drinks that they sell, when you made laws to destroy the hotels and ban and do whatever you did you consult them? What manner of arrogance and nonsense?
All right.
Be careful.
And at the end of the day, he even ended it with a threat. Say, be careful. Be careful, or what? Be careful. I mean, I think there is limit to civility, because sometimes we are a civil people who want to respect other people's views and opinions, but that doesn't mean that we are idiots. What manner of nonsense is this guy talking about? And one thing I wanted to do this evening is actually to know, who is this guy? Who is he? Because sometimes it's good before, when people do something, sometimes it's good, you go there, or rather you go find out who they are actually. And this guy is no other person than Usman Yusuf. Usman Yusuf, as many of you will know, he meets bandits, right? He meets bandits. Let me see quickly. Let me see quickly if I can pull my browser up. Let's do this. Let's do this exercise, because if not for anything, I just want to quickly show us this, because we don't engage in propaganda or fake news here. I just want to do the right thing and just show who the man in question is. Okay, so let me go back one bit. I hope you can see my screen, right? Hold on, let me go back one bit. Yes. Let me do a full screen so that all of you can see what I'm seeing and you can see it properly, right? So, where is it? So, let's say Usman Yusuf. Put professor for him, but I think he's a quota system professor. So, who is man? Now, last year, see, he's the same man that said he was. Let me. Okay, see here. He is the former secretary, executive secretary, National Health Insurance Scheme. Remember, this same man was fired and he refused to. He was fired. He was fired and he refused to, because you can see where he's deriving his mentality. Now everything is making sense, because you can see that he is now thinking, oh, I am from the blessed people, then I do not need to vacate. Because then, honestly, when I read, before now, I didn't think that it was anything to write him about. Rather, there was anything to make fuss about it. But you can read the guy about 6 months ago, after he was controversially sacked as executive secretary of Nigerian Health Insurance Scheme. Usman Yusuf used expletive to respond to a fresh indictment of fraudulent activities against the scheme during his stay in office. So, blah, blah, blah. This man has cases. He had cases at some point to answer. And even when Premium Times rang him, even when Premium Times tried to contact him, this is an audio here. How sacked NHI's HS boss Yusuf responded to Premium Times inquiry. Now listen to what he said. He used some swear word, but it's good so that you people know who you're dealing with. You listen to him.
Come on to Professor Usman Yusuf. I'm a journalist with Premium Times newsletter. Okay, sir. There's this report that was released recently by the Auditor General's office. Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you, sir. Fuck you, Premium Times Auditor General's office. I'm working. Okay.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what he said to Premium Time? Let me, maybe if you didn't hear that, let me play that maybe from here.
By the Auditor General's office.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Fuck you, Premium Times.
Play again.
I can hear you, sir. Fuck you, Premium Times.
This is a man that is now telling us, the Southerners, that we have to take orders from them before. You can imagine a man who, you know, it doesn't sound heavy in his mouth, that he is suddenly suddenly he forgot that what he was saying was haram. Actually, what he was saying, he was committing haram, but that is what he forgot. You can see where we are. You see the type of people we deal with, honestly. Okay, so that's number one. That's number one. Just to, you know, basically just to expose him a little bit, who he was. But when Premium Times, after that happened, they went ahead and they wrote the report. You can do do the rest of the research yourself. But there is something that is actually more interesting that I want to show us. So I want to Google his name, and I want you to do the same thing at home. I want you to do the same thing at home. Oh, what's happening? Okay. So now let's see Professor Usman. Let's add plus bandit. Okay. So let's see what we'll see here. So let's go to pictures. Now, where are these pictures? This is the picture. You see, this is the same man that's used the F word now. Okay, this is the same man here with bandits. This is the same man that is telling us, oh, we need to take permission before we meet. This is him here with bandit. You see that? You see him here, right? Remember, this was written on February 25th. There's somebody quoted one Lieutenant General Said Atta Hassan said, forgiving a terrorist is left for God or to God, but fixing their appointment date with God is our responsibility. I think if I remember vividly, I think I've seen someone quote and attribute this quote to Vladimir Putin. But again, it does happen every time. But bottom line here is that this man is not whiter than white, that he would want you to, to think. Being an executive, being in an executive position, he used his position. He's been accused of commingling of funds, and obviously he's not where he was supposed to be, because obviously where he comes from. Okay, where he comes from. So when you look at all these things, one thing, it becomes very clear that you and I cannot be. I mean, I don't want to say what I'm thinking, but again, let me ask him again. So, again, our governors met in Delta State, and again, I like the support. And like I said to us yesterday, we must support the governors. They met 2 days ago, so we must support them. Many of you know that on this platform, I had always called them out to say, give us the, ban the open grazing. That's a starting point. If you want to deal on, cow or anything If you want to become a herdsman, of course, you're free, but it's a private business. Go find your own space where you can ranch it, but not cows moving everywhere as if there is no tomorrow. So that's one thing that ought not to happen. Having said that, listen to him again.
Gandhi said, whatever you do for me without me is against me. Ask all those, whatever, 13, 15 governors that met in that hotel. Was there any of the Fulani leaders consulted?
I mean, that's honestly the arrogance. The arrogance pisses me off. The arrogance. Was any of the Fulani leaders consulted? That's what he's saying?
Any of the Fulani leaders consulted? So they're there making laws for people that they have not consulted. This is a problem with government. Disconnected, out of touch with realities of people. You must sit down and talk with people you are making laws for. None of that those governors have sat down with Fulani leaders in wherever they are and tell them what we are planning to do, or what we're going to do, or what alternatives are there. And then they're sitting down there and making laws.
All right.
Be careful.
So be careful. Be careful. I hope we understand that that's a threat. That's a threat. But we have basically, as the governors demanded that the president address them, the president appeared to have addressed you today. Listen to your president.
2015, what stage we are now, both on security, both on economy, and we are going by the constitution. We are doing our best, but with the resources available and the manpower available to us, we are working very hard. And I think the National Assembly is cooperating.
You know, that's the same way he said, the former IGP, that he's working very hard when the incidents in Benue happened. He said he's working very hard because he's losing weight. So looking at the president now, I think if I use my eye gauge, it appears the president is also losing weight. And in his own words, so when people lose weight, they work very hard. I mean, bravo.
Very well. Within the resources available to us, they are certainly giving us priority in our requirements, and we are doing our best. The important thing is the elites must make the attempt to understand the military. If we order, say, weapons and armored vehicles, it takes time for the manufacturers. It takes time when the
Why don't you challenge us into manufacture these?
Brought here eventually, shipped here, taken to our training institutions, training the trainers, and then sending them to. This is a very, very long process. And even if you can have contact with the retired military chaps, they will tell you the difference between the time we came and now. How much hardware we have got, how much training we have done. If you don't know, go and ask people from Borno, from Adamawa.
But okay, which people in Borno and in Adamawa they should ask? Is that the ones living in IDP camps or the ones running away from their homes? Are they the ones we are going to ask? Because these people are vacating their places. So if the people are vacating their places, but you're here saying that you've done fantastically well, and we can say, Mr. President, we disagree. Your government, as long as this is concerned, hasn't done perfectly well. So there is too much room for improvement. Because if you ask Clark will tell you that he thinks in the next 6 months a lot of things will happen. You think I'm kidding? Okay, let's bring Clark in. So, Clark, what do you think is going to happen within the next 6 months? Tell us.
The DSS has said today there is a warning against those who are, according to them, planning to disintegrate their country.
You said the problem in Nigeria is that people who should know
don't want to know and they do not know. The security section is talking and talking and talking. What are they doing? The situation in this country today is so bad that I, Robert Clark, I cannot guarantee Nigeria staying another 6 months. The problems are so overwhelming.
Did you hear that? He cannot guarantee that Nigeria stays another 6 months. Those are his words. For those of you, in case if you missed it, let me enlarge it again and play that.
In another 6 months. The problems, I cannot guarantee Nigeria staying another 6 months. The problems are so overwhelming and they have been created by these same politicians. Since 1999 Constitution came into being, and this crop of politicians, young boys then, who were swimming in Abacha's loot and trying to form as many political parties for him, got into money and came into politics. Nigeria has never been the same.
I mean, we know those he's talking about. Obviously, we have them everywhere in the Niger Delta. You know, we know how it works, how they rolled. At the end of the day, we have our serious issues. But again, what did you promise us? Maybe I'll bring Buhari in himself to basically tell us.
The government has failed to do its principal duty of protecting life or property of all beings inside its territory in Nigeria. And what happened, as I said, in Ekiti and Oshun, the number of military, police, other law enforcement agencies deployed to rig elections in favor of the ruling party, if those were effectively used in the Northeast, the end of the insurgency could have been met.
Now you have.
So I am wondering why the end of the insurgency has not been met. You know, that is what I am wondering, Mr. President. Why is the end of the insurgency since after the Ekiti state election, and it is now 7 years after the Ekiti state election, Mr. President, why is that not?
The government has failed to do its principal duty of protecting life or property of all beings inside its territory in Nigeria. And what happened, as I said, in Ekiti and Oshun, the number of military, police, other law enforcement agencies deployed to rig elections in favor of the ruling party, if those were effectively used in the Northeast, the end of the insurgency could have been met.
Now you have
and
vowed.
What I'm saying, the bottom line is that the government is not serious about curbing the insurgency in the Northeast.
In it, the government is not serious. So if the government is serious, what then is
Will
this?
you look into the recommendations in the National Confab report?
Well, frankly, I haven't studied it. I have a problem with that conference. My problem is this, if you could recall. At the time, the government said it voted 7 billion naira for that conference. ASU was on strike. And teachers on the tertiary institutions, polytechnics, were on strike. These strikes were at least for a whole academic year. I think a serious government, if they have 7 billion naira to throw about, will go and negotiate with ASU, and then the teachers.
So I don't know if we have negotiated with the ASU now, but as the problem is now, it's DSS. I'm not making trouble. DSS will be very careful because I want to go to the other room You know the as a room. If in the house you have a kitchen, in the as a room where you have your madam. Oh dear, let me laugh a little bit. No be me kill who die. Nigeria no go kill me my life. So make I laugh a little bit. Nigeria no go kill me. If he goes as a room, if they're telling me we don't have Boko Haram in Sakoto, we don't have it in Ekiti. We don't even have it in this southeast, because if we have unknown gunmen, we have unknown government, and we have unknown soldier, and we have unknown everything. If everything is unknown, Kukuma, we have unknown country. Oh, we have unknown country. We finish everything. Finished. So I go. Everybody either go. You can't. You know, I mean, these things you can't make them up. We can't make them up, because sometimes if you take Nigerian issues so serious, it could give you health problem. Therefore, you can only find one or two ways to keep yourself happy. People, as I said it, I just wanted to do, as I promised, this video is not going to be more than 30 minutes, because I know tomorrow is, I think these videos I watch now is getting into me now. Tomorrow is, which day is tomorrow? Tomorrow is Friday. So don't worry. After 1 o'clock, we go somewhere. After 1 o'clock, if we finish prayers, we'll, people like me, I'll drink 2 bottles of Omfa. That Anambra Gwabana, they call them Fita Obi. You can give me 2 bottles of Omfa. If you drink 2 bottles of Omfa, the weekend I don't start. So, on that note, I say, people, thank you very much for joining me. DSS, take note. I was just having fun. My weekend started early. I'm not working tomorrow. Okay, so DSS, take note. I have no intention. I have no intention of visiting your office, either willingly or unwillingly. Please do not jump my fence this night looking for me. It's all good. On that note, I will say thank you very much for joining me. And thank you very much, people. Some of the comments are actually cracking me up, but it doesn't matter, people. So thank you very much for joining me. I'll speak to you guys tomorrow then. Tomorrow is my normal day, is my usual Friday hangout and the street parliament. So tomorrow, these things, we will discuss about them, and I'll give you time to ring in. We will have these things discussed, and your views as well. Your views will be listened to. Thank you once more. I am your host, Mazazoke. Peace out and good night.